Austria-Hungary, also known by other names and often referred to as the Austro-Hungarian Empire in English-language sources, was a constitutional union of the Austrian Empire and the Kingdom of Hungary that existed from 1867 to 1918, when it collapsed as a result of defeat in World War I. The union was a result of the Austro-Hungarian Compromise of 1867 and came into existence on 30 March 1867, when the compromise was ratified by the Hungarian parliament. Austria-Hungary consisted of two monarchies and one autonomous region, the Kingdom of Croatia-Slavonia under the Hungarian crown, which negotiated the Croatian-Hungarian settlement in 1868. It was ruled by the House of Habsburg, and constituted the last phase in the constitutional evolution of the Habsburg Monarchy. Following the 1867 reforms, the Austrian and the Hungarian states were co-equal. The compromise required regular renewal, as did the customs union between the two components of the union. Foreign affairs and the military came under joint oversight, but all other governmental faculties were divided between respective states. Austria-Hungary was a multinational state and one of the world's great powers at the time. Austria-Hungary was geographically the second largest country in Europe after the Russian Empire at 621,538 square kilometers, and the third most populous. The empire built up the fourth largest machine-building industry of the world, after the United States, Germany, and the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland. Austria-Hungary also became the world's third largest manufacturer and exporter of electric home appliances, electric industrial appliances and power generation apparatuses for power plants, after the United States and the German Empire. After 1878, Bosnia and Herzegovina was under Austro-Hungarian military and civilian rule until it was fully annexed in 1908, provoking the Bosnian crisis among the other powers. Sandak, Raska, de jure northern part of the Ottoman Sanjak of Novi Pazar, was also under de facto joint occupation during the period, but the Austro-Hungarian army withdrew as part of their annexation of Bosnia. The annexation of Bosnia also led to Islam being recognized as an official state religion due to Bosnia's Muslim population. Austria-Hungary was one of the central powers in World War I. It was already effectively dissolved by the time the military authorities signed the armistices of Village Isti on November 3, 1918. The Kingdom of Hungary and the First Austrian Republic were treated as its successors de jure, whereas the independence of the West Slavs and South Slavs of the Empire is the First Czechoslovak Republic, the Second Polish Republic and the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, respectively, and most of the territorial demands of the Kingdom of Romania were also recognized by the victorious powers in 1920. Structure and name. The realm's full official name was the kingdoms and lands represented in the Imperial Council and the lands of the Holy Hungarian Crown of St. Stephen. German, Die im Reichsrat vertreten Königreiche und Länder und die Lande der Heiligen Ungarischen Stefanskrone. Hungarian, Abirodal mit Annexban Kepvis Kirillai Sigoki Acutes or Sigoki Acutes Magyarsis and Corona or Sigai. The Habsburg monarch ruled as Emperor of Austria over the western and northern half of the country that was the Austrian Empire and as King of Hungary over the Kingdom of Hungary. Each enjoyed considerable sovereignty with only a few joint affairs. Certain regions, such as Polish Galicia within Cisleithania and Croatia within Hungary, enjoyed autonomous status, each with its own unique governmental structures. The division between Austria and Hungary was so marked that there was no common citizenship. One was either an Austrian citizen or a Hungarian citizen, never both. This also meant that there were always separate Austrian and Hungarian passports, never a common one. The Kingdom of Hungary had always maintained a separate parliament, the Diet of Hungary, even after the Austrian Empire was created in 1804. The administration and government of the Kingdom of Hungary remained largely untouched by the government structure of the overarching Austrian Empire. Hungary's central government structures remained well separated from the Austrian imperial government. The country was governed by the Council of Lieutenancy of Hungary, located in Pressburg and later in Pest, and by the Hungarian Royal Court, Chancellery in Vienna. The Hungarian government and Hungarian parliament were suspended after the Hungarian Revolution of 1848, and were reinstated after the Austro-Hungarian Compromise in 1867. Despite Austria and Hungary sharing a common currency, they were fiscally sovereign and independent entities. Since the beginnings of the personal union, the government of the Kingdom of Hungary could preserve its separated and independent budget. After the Revolution of 1848 to 1849, the Hungarian budget was amalgamated with the Austrian, and it was only after the Compromise of 1867 that Hungary obtained a separate budget. From 1527 to 1851, the Kingdom of Hungary maintained its own customs controls, which separated her from the other parts of the Habsburg-ruled territories. After 1867, the Austrian and Hungarian customs union agreement had to be renegotiated and stipulated every 10 years. The agreements were renewed and signed by Vienna and Budapest at the end of every decade because both countries hoped to derive mutual economic benefit from the customs union. The Austrian Empire and Kingdom of Hungary contracted the foreign commercial treaties independently of each other. Austria-Hungary was a great power, but it contained a large number of ethnic groups that sought their own nation. It was ruled by a coalition of two powerful minorities, the Germans and the Hungarians. Stresses regarding nationalism were building up, and the severe shock of a poorly handled war caused the system to collapse. Vienna served as the monarchy's primary capital. The Cisleithanian part contained about 57% of the total population and the larger share of its economic resources, compared to the Hungarian part. Following a decision of Franz Joseph I in 1868, the realm bore the official name Austro-Hungarian Monarchy, realm in its international relations. It was often contracted to the dual monarchy in English, or simply referred to as Austria. Creation: the Austro-Hungarian Compromise of 1867, which inaugurated the empire's dual structure in place of the former unitary Austrian Empire, originated at a time when Austria had declined in strength and in power, both in the Italian peninsula and among the states of the German Confederation. Other factors in the constitutional changes were continued Hungarian dissatisfaction with rule from Vienna and increasing national consciousness on the part of other nationalities of the Austrian Empire. Hungarian dissatisfaction arose partly from Austria's suppression with Russian support of the Hungarian Liberal Revolution of 1848–49. However, dissatisfaction with Austrian rule had grown for many years within Hungary and had many other causes. By the late 1850s, a large number of Hungarians who had supported the 1848–49 revolution were willing to accept the Habsburg Monarchy. They argued that while Hungary had the right to full internal independence under the Pragmatic Sanction of 1713, Foreign affairs and defense were common to both Austria and Hungary. After the Austrian defeat at Königgrätz, the government realized it needed to reconcile with Hungary to regain the status of a great power. The new foreign minister, Count Friedrich Ferdinand von Beust, wanted to conclude the stalemated negotiations with the Hungarians. To secure the monarchy, Emperor Franz Joseph began negotiations for a compromise with the Hungarian nobility, led by Ferenc Deák, to ensure the support. In particular, Hungarian leaders demanded and received the emperor's coronation as King of Hungary and the re-establishment of a separate parliament at Pest with powers to enact laws for the lands of the Holy Crown of Hungary. From 1867 onwards, the abbreviations heading the names of official institutions in Austria-Hungary reflected the responsibility. KUK was the label for institutions common to both parts of the monarchy, e.g., the KUK Kriegsmarine and, during the war, the KUK Army. There were 3 KUK, or joint ministries, the Imperial and Royal Ministry of the Exterior and the Imperial House, the Imperial and Royal War Ministry, the Imperial and Royal Ministry of Finance. The last was responsible only for financing the imperial and royal household, the diplomatic service, the common army and the common war fleet. All other state functions were to be handled separately by each of the two states. From 1867 onwards, common expenditures were allocated 70% to Austria and 30% to Hungary. This split had to be negotiated every 10 years. By 1907, the Hungarian share had risen to 36.4%. The negotiations in 1917 ended with the dissolution of the dual monarchy. The Common Army changed its label from KK to KUK only in 1889 at the request of the Hungarian government. KK, or Imperial Royal, was the term for institutions of Cisleithania. Royal in this label referred to the Crown of Bohemia. KU, or MK, referred to Transleithania, the lands of the Hungarian Crown.